In 2013, for the first time in my life, I traveled outside of the country. When I told people where I was going, I got responses like, "Why?" or "What are you going to do over there?" And the answer was very simple. I was going to learn about a different culture. I ended up traveling to China for 2 weeks. Now, the experience that I had was unlike any other. I quickly learned how different the culture was and how different they conducted their business. It was very similar to American culture, but it was also very different in several ways. I learned that business owners establish a very strong, very formal relationship with their customers, but then they slowly begin to resemble relationships that they have with members of their own family. I also learned that people in China understand their place on the social hierarchy and they use that to their advantage. One of the last things that I learned is that in specific business transactions, people sometimes barter their goods in exchange for different services. Now, I think it's very important to understand business culture not only in China but around the world in order to gain a level of respect for one another and a better integrity as to the ways that we conduct our own business. Now, I've experienced this business culture in China firsthand, and I've also talked to different business owners on reasons why they do the things that they do. Now, people in China conduct very formal businesses in order to establish a strong clientele base, and then they begin to view the relationships that they have with their clients as very similar to relationships that they would maintain with members of their own family. According to the article, Doing Business in China from quintessential.co.uk, businessmen keep in mind that they are representing their company and they conduct their business at a very professional level, but they also understand that their business relationships will prosper and function smoothly if proper behavior through duty, respect, and loyalty are shown, just as relationships that they have with members of their own family. Now, according to the article Time is Money, Understanding U.S. Business Ethics from tcworld.info, American culture automatically uses a very informal tone when conducting business, such as using first names rather than people's titles. And in doing this, Americans believe that they're going to establish a strong, good relationship with their customers because they're doing it at a personal level. Now, by coming off as strong and then slowly treating customers like they treat their own members of their family, businessmen in China create a sense of community that keep the buyer coming back. People in China also understand and respect both people above and below them and use their place on the social hierarchy to conduct their business. According to the Canadian Trade Commissioner Service from the Government of Canada in relation to Chinese business etiquette, seniority is valued in China, and it's important to address your counterparts by their titles, such as president, chairman, director, etc. And it is crucial to establish and maintain these good relationships with key business contacts and relevant government officials. These relationships are created and earned by respect for one's position. Now, referring back to the article Time is Money, Understanding U.S. Business Culture, Americans believe in the American dream, which is an idea and a belief that individuals can succeed through hard work and prosperity. Due to this belief, American business puts a heavy emphasis on individual initiative and achievement. Now here's a picture of the social hierarchy in China. In China, when customers of lower standing on the social hierarchy come in looking for goods, oftentimes businessmen do trade products for favors. This is an important social moral trade that is widely accepted in China because people sometimes often exchange these favors at a later date. Now, people in China value their businesses and oftentimes barter their goods in exchange for services, and this creates a good standing with their customers. This is an extremely informal business interaction in China, but it's still important and it's practiced today. I've experienced this one firsthand. And when I was in China, I met a local businessman who created ocarinas by hand, and this is what it looks like. I, at the time, didn't have money to pay for it, and he told me that if I was going to be back the next day, I could just take it and bring the money the next day. And that's exactly what I did. Now, oftentimes, transactions could mean so much more as an exchange for sheep or anything similar to that. Now, I would like to thank everyone for coming in and listening to what I have to say and listening to my personal experiences, and I hope that you guys learned something. People in China view the relationships that they have with people of business similar to the relationships they have with members of their family. They also understand and respect both people above and below them in their social hierarchy, and they know their place and they use that to their advantage. And people oftentimes barter their goods in exchange for different services. Now, I challenge you to all change the way that you conduct your own business and try to set aside the one idea that one business has to be better than the other. Now that you have learned what you have learned today and how business etiquette is different in China, but also similar to American business etiquette, would you do anything different? Thank you.